November 24th Valley View School Board meeting. Mr. Gugis, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Secretary Hansen, would you give us the board affirmation statement, please?
Our mission is to ensure that all students are prepared for college and a successful life, academically, socially, and emotionally, as well as equipped with the necessary tools to have options and make decisions about their long-term goals. This will be accomplished by believing and working towards all students learning through rigorous curricula and meaningful, effective instruction, consequently demonstrating mastery on high-quality assessments, with all stakeholders being held accountable throughout the process.
Thank you. Dr. Mitchum, agenda.
Yes, Mr. President. I'd like to ask that the board approve the agenda as presented.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Consent agenda items. Dr. Mitchum.
Yes, I'd like to ask that the board approve consent agenda items 5.1 through 5.5. 5.1, board meeting minutes, November 10th, 2014. 5.2, executive session meeting minutes, November 10th, 2014. 5.3, trips for Bolingbrook and Romeoville High School. And 5.4, gifts to Oakview Elementary School and Bolingbrook High School. And 5.5, fiscal year 2013-14 audit.
Motion to approve consent.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Yes.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Student staff recognition. Pillars of Valley View. First up is Bolingbrook High School. Principal Jordan. Assistant Principal Rose. And the man of the hour.
Yes, definitely. We're honored to be able to recognize him. Good evening, President Quigley, School Board, Dr. Mitchum, senior leadership, and Valley View School community. Larry Fisher has been selected as our BHS pillar. Originally, Mr. Fisher came to us from the state of Kentucky. He has a bachelor's in music and choral conducting from Butler University and a master's in choral conducting performance from the University of Massachusetts. With teaching experience at Proviso East and West and a middle school in Hoffman Estates, Larry made a commitment to Dr. Mitchum during his interview to stay at BHS for 2 years. That was in 2006, and he has been here ever since. While at BHS, his students have successfully been accepted to perform at the Illinois Music Educators District and all-state festivals, with 12 students making it to the district this year, and 2 students scoring the highest score in their section at auditions. His Sunrise Singers were accepted to perform at the all-state festival this January, which is a tremendous honor, as generally only 5 schools in the state of Illinois are asked to perform at this event. In addition to the strength of their performances, his AP Music Theory students have also scored high on the AP exam, with the trend for higher averages each year. This year, the average score was a 4.8, nearly the perfect 5. It is with great pleasure that we recognize Larry Fisher as a pillar of Valley View. Congratulations, Mr. Fisher.
Next up is Vito Martinez Middle School.
Good evening, members of the board, senior leadership, and the community of Valley View. It is my privilege and honor to introduce you to Mrs. Amy O'Mara. Mrs. O'Mara has been teaching at Martinez Middle School for 18 years. She is our language arts key leader, and she is a trusted and respected colleague to our Viking staff. She currently teaches 6th grade language arts and enhancement. She co-teaches sections with other staff members, and she also teaches 6th grade honors. Her classroom is a place where students can expand their knowledge in a safe, comfortable, and challenging environment. Students are truly the leaders of their classroom and are active participants in their learning. Mrs. O'Mara's belief that all of her students can excel is exhibited not only in her lessons, activities, and interactions with students and staff, but also demonstrated by her student growth. I am proud to acknowledge Mrs. O'Mara as a pillar of Valley View for her unwavering dedication to our students. Thank you, Mrs. O'Mara.
Photo op. Tibbett Elementary up next.
Good evening, members of the board, senior leadership, and the Valley View School District school community. Amanda Tucker and I would like to introduce you to someone you should know, PE teacher Teresa Anfield. When I reflect back on people who have made a difference in my own life, they all have one thing in common. They believed in me. Teresa Anfield believes in each and every one of our children. She has made a difference in the lives of all of our students through her dedication to them as individuals and as part of a larger school community. Whether it has been through her lessons in her physical education classroom or through her modeling of service to the school as a whole, Teresa serves as an inspiration for us all. She gives from the heart. This is evidenced in her interactions with students in the gym, at the crosswalk after school, and in her volunteer work on 2 non-school days painting our blacktop so the students would have a more inviting play space. Teresa serves as an exceptional role model for both our students and staff members. We are proud to present her as Tibbett's Valley View Pillar.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Next up, Illinois State High School State Cross Country Qualifiers. I don't know, is there a particular order?
President Quigley, members of the board, Dr. Mitchum, senior leadership, and members of the community. My name is Rob Rose. I'm the assistant principal for athletics and activities at Bolingbrook High School. Very proud to introduce 2 of our outstanding student athletes, Triana Rodriguez and Ariana Amil, who I don't want to steal too much thunder because Coach Overdorf and Coach Sullivan are going to speak about their accolades.
Hey, ladies,
but
can you guys scoot over? They want to see you on TV. Can you scoot this way? There
get on the
There you
tube.
go.
Thank you.
You know, you can look up there and see yourselves on TV.
I look a lot larger on camera. Thank you for
It's
pointing
50
that
pounds.
out.
It's
Yeah,
50
they say the
pounds.
camera adds 10 pounds, Rob, you're okay.
That's
It's
much
50.
more than that.
It's
trust
50.
me.
Trust me, Rob. It's 50.
One of the things that we pride ourselves on at Bolingbrook High School is continuing to build on our successes, and happy to announce that for the first time in 29 years, we had 2, not 1, but 2 state qualifiers in girls cross country. So certainly want to wish them congratulations, and I know Coach Overdorf and Coach Sullivan are going to speak about them, and the good thing is they're coming back next year. So, Coach Overdorf.
Good evening. We are very excited to announce these 2 girls tonight. They're only sophomores, and so we have 2 more years with them. There's a bright future. They work hard every day, even when they don't really want to work hard or when it's tough. They push each other. Last year as freshmen, they were both all-conference, which we hadn't had an all-conference runner in a few years. This year, they again were all-conference runners. They ran very well at sectionals, PRs. Triana ran a 17:55, Ariana ran an 18:01, which if we had personal records, in cross country it's difficult because every course is different, they would definitely have it for Bolingbrook High School. No female runner has ever ran those times, so we are very excited for them. We know we have them for 2 more years, and we'll be back here next year, hopefully with faster times, better places at the state meet, and hopefully with a bigger team, as our goal next year is to bring the entire team down to state. So we congratulate them.
And for those of us who live near the high school, I've seen them bounding around town. And there's a whole bunch of them, too, and you see them running around, and you're like, I wish I was that motivated at 7 o'clock in the morning in the middle of summer. Next up, the Semper Fidelis Bowl football All-American could not make it this evening. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. State soccer.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to bring up Luis and Coach Kasurik. I'll talk a little bit about the program. Coach Clemens could not be here tonight, so his assistant, Coach Kasurik, is here in his place to introduce Luis Flores. I will point out before Coach Kasurik talks about him, you might have seen me send something out. About a month ago, Luis was also selected, in addition to being All-State, as the Chicago Trib Local November Athlete of the Month. So pretty big honor, and certainly if you voted, I appreciate the vote. We had one of our more successful years in boys soccer, I believe tying most wins in school history. Lost a tough one to a very, very good Naperville North school. So bring up Coach Kasurik, who will introduce Luis.
Good evening. Main thing is with Luis Flores, he was an integral part to winning 17 games this year and getting to a regional title versus Naperville North. Scored 20 goals, 5 assists, received the Illinois High School Soccer Coaches Association All-State. He's the 5th All-State player in Bolingbrook High School history, and he is the first All-Midwest selection by the National Soccer Coaches Association, which is another accolade he received this year. He did an outstanding job. He was the top player in the Windy City tournament that Bolingbrook High School won this year at Toyota Park, and are looking forward to big things from him in the future in his senior year. Congratulations, Luis.
And a snappy dresser. I am a little jealous because he's skinny too. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. If I was that skinny, you guys would think there was something terribly wrong with me.
You are. It's the camera adds 50 pounds.
That's true. Liaison reports. Any and all. From my right.
None.
From my left.
Yes, in regards to Wilco, I'd like to congratulate. There's 5 students for Students of the Month in October. 1 from BHS. Congratulations to Nicholas Sultan in Auto Body. And from Romeoville High School, we have 4 Students of the Month. Zachary Barger in Culinary Arts, Elizabeth Jobin in Early Childhood, Nathan Fickett in Game Design, and Haley Kovich in Intro to Health Professions. So congratulations to those 5 Valley View students of the month for October for Wilco.
Any others?
I'm sorry, I did have one from negotiations. It's not with our teachers, but with our bus drivers. I got to go to the union meeting with our bus drivers and talk a little bit about, one, our appreciation for what they do, and also talk about needing their support for Senate Bill 16. They seem very excited, and their local group would ask me, took the information that we've put out to distribute that to their membership to get them also involved.
Thank you. Legislative update in Springfield. Rick just touched on Senate Bill 16. The prevailing belief is that bill probably will not be called this session. It is still possible. There's a lame duck session that comes in or the second week of January, first week of January. The second week of veto session will be the week following this week down in Springfield. If they do pass the bill, it bodes very well for this district. But there are a lot of other districts that will be harmed financially, so I don't see this bill being called by leadership. Additionally, the income tax that was passed in 2011 will roll off January 1st of this year to 3.5% instead of 5%. So the state will have a rather enormous budget hole to fill. What they intend to do is anybody's guess. There's going to be a lot of political gamesmanship going on. You know, we have a new governor coming in. It's just going to be a very interesting time to see what's going to happen. The state has this is a $2 billion problem for them, and they've already run deficit spending. So we're going to be watching very carefully to find out how they plan to solve some of this problem and make sure that they don't balance their budget on the back of education and local government and local taxpayers as well, because they've continued to do that over the years, and I just think it's not right, period. But we will be down there talking to whomever it takes to ensure that our needs are met here first and foremost. So if you have a chance to talk to your state representatives and senators in the near future, I would suggest you do so. They're all going to be home after the second veto, and then there is the lame duck session, so there will be 3 or 4 days of that. So thank you. Any audience participation? Anybody who wishes to address the board this evening? Seeing none. Action reports. Dr. Mitchum.
Yes, Mr. President, I would like to ask that the board approve student due process cases A through I as presented.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Yes.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Ms. Kinder, if you would, please.
Yes, sir. Action Report 10.1, we are seeking your approval on a sports entertainment marketing course at the high school level. Information about this course proposal was presented on November 10th, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Yes.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Action Report 10.2, we are seeking your approval on a high school digital photography course. Again, information about this course was also presented on November 10th board meeting, and we are happy to answer any questions that you may have.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Yes.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
I think I'll go back to high school so I can take these two courses,
I
actually.
know. I definitely want to take the digital camera one.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. I'm hoping to get one for Christmas.
And then you
I
can
want
take
to how they use it.
Very good. I'm sure you can survey the course, so come join anytime you'd like. Action Report 10.3, we are seeking approval for the draft calendar for the 15-16 school year as recommended by the Calendar Committee. Again, we presented this at the November 10th board meeting, and at the board meeting prior to that, and then presented it to the community, posted it online, and allowed feedback from the community. We did receive a much smaller amount of feedback than we have in previous years. We had 12 total respondents, and I provided a feedback summary on the second page of the report there. 3 comments were made about school starting too early in August, and then there were 2 comments about preferring to have students attend on Veterans Day to provide for an educational experience for students in school. And then you can review the rest of the comments there. There was no widespread trends in terms of any opposition to the calendar as presented. And so we are seeking your approval on it at this time or consideration if changes are needed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion seconded. Any discussion on the calendar for 2016, 15-16? Roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Yes.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
Thank you, Member Sikora, for all your work on that.
Yes, she has great attention to detail. She helped us out greatly in the review. Action Report 10.4, we are seeking your approval similarly to for the 2016-2017 school calendar. The same process was followed in presenting this to the board as information and then presenting to the community for review and feedback.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? I have a question. Do we normally go 2 years out on these? I forget.
Previously we had, and then it kind of got changed to where we were just focusing on getting 1 year passed. But this time we accomplished 2 years, and so if changes are needed, we can certainly revisit. But for the time being, a lot of people were clamoring to know in advance.
Okay, thank you. Motion and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Yes.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. And the riveting pest control bill.
Yes. Bids were invited for a 32-month pest control contract within our district buildings to start this December and going through July 31st of 2016, I guess that would be. We had 4 responses. One bid was deemed non-compliant and rejected. Of the 3 that were received, we are recommending the lowest responsible bidder, Will Kill Copasan out of Mount Prospect, for the 32-month total of $37,280.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Anybody want to talk about pest control? Roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Yes.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Action reports. Ms. Hawks.
Thank you, President Quigley. Action Report 12.1 this evening. We are seeking your approval on the Consolidated Action Report for certified and classified personnel. This includes 14 items for certified personnel, 16 for classified, 1 for administrative classified, and 1 for administrative certified personnel.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Yes.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Ms. Hawks.
My second action report this evening is Action Report 12.2, Resolution number 1499, seeking your approval for employment settlement agreement and general release.
So moved.
Second.
Motion seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Sikora?
Abstain.
Member Felice?
Yes.
Secretary Hansen?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Board policies.
Yes, Information Report 13.1 is presenting 2 board policies for your first reading and review. Board Policy 2.110, Qualifications, Terms, and Duties of Board Officers, and Board Policy 7.190, Student Discipline.
Any questions? I'm assuming that's keeping us in compliance, Mr. Counselor, with the state requirements?
That is correct.
Thank you. See, this guy sits there and he reads through these things because he is so interested in it. It's unbelievable. The number of things that they have to go through to keep us, it's a very thick document, to keep us up to date with the state requirements.
That is correct. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Information Report 13.2, we are presenting information prior to seeking approval for our Special Education Extended School Year program. This is a program that we run on an annual basis, and it is a program that we provide for special education students, a limited portion of our special education population. To be eligible, students must exhibit considerable regression of learned skills and an inability to recoup the loss in a reasonable period of time, as determined by their Individualized Education Plan, or IEP. Again, we will be running the ESY program at all of our levels. The early childhood students will be located here at the Early Childhood Center. Elementary students at Hermanson Elementary School. Middle school, high school, and STEP students will be located at Bolingbrook High School. The calendar will run from June 8th through July 3rd, and class hours will be Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 12 o'clock daily. Costs are covered by the Individuals with Disabilities Act federal grant, and staff are reimbursed at the standard contractual rates. We will provide transportation, and per usual, we will receive the state reimbursement costs for that. Additional information about the estimated staffing needs is presented in the information report, and as usual, we will post an interview for these positions for all of the staff necessary to provide these supports for our students into the extended school year.
Motion?
It's just for information this evening,
information,
but I'm
sorry.
happy to
Yep.
answer any questions.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
How soon are the students notified of the program?
The students are notified through their IEP process, so those families are aware.
So
When they have their review.
reviews?
Mhm, yes,
okay,
they are.
Thank you.
Next up, we are at Legal Services Report,
No report this evening.
which is what you guys waited to hear. Association reports. Apparently none. Valley View Council, AFT? Valley View Council? Valley View Office Personnel Council? Thank you. Any old business before the board this evening? Any new business before the board this evening? Any questions from the public on actions we have taken this evening? Apparently everybody loves the calendar. Any announcements by the board? From my right, Vice President Gugis.
A couple. I mean, there's so much going on. Tonight, we have our Valley View Middle Schools are having a concert, a band concert at Bolingbrook High School, taking advantage of the beautiful facility there. So that started at 7, so we missed out. I wanted to point out a couple other things. Lukanzik Middle School, the drama club is putting on the Christmas Carol on December 4th through the 6th at 6:30. I wanted to thank Irene King and Mr. Felix's 5th grade class. They had Carl Carpenter, a parent volunteer, come in and dissect a frog. There were some great pictures, and Principal Vasic, you looked, like it wasn't your favorite, but yet you were there. There is a great picture of her with her hands close to her body and looking interesting. And last but not least, I don't think this is an accident. I know that the Naval Academy midshipmen are coming. I think they're coming tomorrow at BHS for a student-only thing, and then they're going to be available to the public at Romeoville High School at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. What I'll say about that is I believe that was spurred by our own Mr. Letta Payton, and I can distinctly remember her going to a conference to see at the Naval Academy. I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago, and now to see that she has brought the naval midshipmen to our school district. I think they're going to talk about STEM and some other great opportunities. I really appreciate you doing that, because I think that's a really unique opportunity for our students. So that's happening tomorrow at BHS and at RHS, and the RHS one is open to the public at 6 p.m.
Any others?
Yes. Over the weekend, many of us sitting up here attended the Illinois School Board Association Conference in downtown Chicago. We went to a lot of sessions. I attended one on trust issues, evaluation of administration, and how to interpret the school report card, just to name a few. So these will be brought up and talked about later as we meet. So I just wanted to let you know that there were some good things going on this weekend downtown Chicago, besides the parade.
Any others? It's Thanksgiving time, and I just want everybody to be certainly aware that in our district and other areas around here, there's people who are less fortunate than some of the people in this room. There are numerous opportunities for you to donate food at various pantries in the area. Probably all the churches have something. There's the Power Connection. There's the Township Food Pantry. Their stocks get depleted this time of the year, and then right after Thanksgiving, of course, we have Christmas. So if you can find it within yourselves when you're lining up at the Jewel or whatever you happen to be at, the Meijer store or so on and so forth, grab a couple extra cans of something, and or throw a couple bucks. I know at some of the stores you can throw a couple bucks in, and they'll go right to the food pantry and they'll buy the things and supplies that they need. It's just it's a great thing to do. You'll feel better about yourself for doing it. And again, there's a lot of people who are not as fortunate as, like I said, most of the people in this room. So that being said, I would ask that you do that. Also, a few weeks ago, we had the United Way was here. They are in the midst of their season. I would strongly encourage all of our staff and anybody that you know to throw a couple bucks every paycheck at the United Way. If we just did that in our district, it would be a huge deal. And United Way touches 1 out of every 3 families in this county. So if you think about that, that's another place where you can kind of help out and you'll feel really good about yourself and help a lot of people. So thank you. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I do want to point out Member Campbell is not here this evening. She's at a family emergency. And Member Venegas is out of town on some business. So other than that, that's mine. So announcements by the administration.
No announcements.
Announcements by the public. Motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Ayes have it. Have a great Thanksgiving. Drive safely. Stay warm. Be careful out there. If you're traveling, be extra careful.